Guy dressed as Yama, god of death, gives free helmets to bikers who aren't wearing one. Well, isn't that a really nice, considerate thing to do? Saving lives and having fun while you're doing it. Man fights off shark, stitches up own leg, goes to pub. What a badass man. Hopefully his leg was like, fully recovered and he didn't have any, complications after stitching up his own leg. And I hope his alcohol at the pub was great. Bank robbery suspect threw stolen money and wished everyone a Merry Christmas, witnesses said. He kind of looks like Santa Claus, except maybe, missing something. The hat. Ex-soldier raids animal shelter with assault rifle in full tactical gear to get cat back. He launched a one-man raid on an animal shelter after he believed that his missing cat was being held to the facility. Well, was the cat there? I am actually dying to know. I need to know. My daughter crying because she cheated on her boyfriend and I told him, as a good parent should. If your child cheats on their significant other and you find out and you don't tell the significant other, you're a bad parent. Teach your child a lesson. I am thoroughly confusing DoorDash support. I am asking them to undo a refund. Chaotic good. Why would you need to undo a refund? I mean, unless you ordered food and they refunded you because you didn't get it and then you ended up getting it and then you're like, oh, actually, you pay for it. My neighbors are too low income to afford a Wi-Fi connection and too proud to use mine. So I renamed mine Free Council Wi-Fi and I told them I had read about it and what the password was. My neighbor is now halfway through an online college qualification and I'm so proud of her. This isn't even chaotic. This is just really nice and sweet. Actually, just wonderful. We need more people like this. Greenpeace drops concrete boulders off the UK coast to stop illegal fishing in protected waters. The boulders make it impossible for bottom-towed fishing gear to be dragged along the seabed. A huge boulder blocks your path. I worked at McDonald's for 2.5 years and I put 11 nuggets in almost every 10-piece I made. Yeah, this is the hero we deserve and the hero we need. I'm a type 1 diabetic and I require insulin to live multiple times a day. When I was in middle school many years ago, we didn't have insulin pumps and had to use syringes and vials like everyone else. The school refused to let me carry it with me, meaning I had to go to the nurse's office several times a day to inject. It's not just before lunch, but could be any number of times depending on the current blood sugar level. The district then cut nurse staff to just spending a half a day at 2 schools, and the nurse left before I had lunch. I asked the office staff to unlock the office so I could take my insulin and eat lunch, and they refused. By middle school, I'd be dealing with T1 for about 5 years and didn't take shit on the topic. I went to school lobby, picked up the payphone, I just dated myself, and called 911, telling them, hi, I'm at school, I'm a type 1 diabetic, and the office won't unlock a door and let me take my insulin. They sent a fire truck and a bunch of firemen, met me outside, walked me to the office, and asked while ignoring the staff which room was the nurse's office. I pointed to the door, and he was like, okay boys, chop it down. This kid needs his insulin. Suddenly, the office secretary could unlock the door, and I didn't need to put it in the nurse's office every day anymore. I cannot believe that people used to treat kids like this. I mean, they probably still do. I mean, like, this is heinous. This is ridiculous. My sister's a type 1 diabetic, and if, when she was in school, if any staff treated her like this, I wouldn't let that slide personally. Coworker said she would only accept an official Apple mouse, so I dug this out of storage and left it on her desk. Hey, don't give that to her. She's ungrateful. That's a cool ass piece of technology. Time to paint me red again. Result. Thank you. Yeah, it looks way better. I'm so glad. Graffitiing can get you a long way, as long as it's ethical. Sometimes you just use what you got, I guess. Blockbuster? Nah. Mercado El Valle. I don't know what that means. I don't speak Spanish, but you could have painted over it a little bit, huh? Comment on this saying something along the lines of, I want this on a shirt. This site sells stolen artwork. There is often a bot that searches for comments like, I want this on a shirt, and steals the image and sells them to consumers who want the shirts while selling your personal data. Don't buy from this site. Thank you. I hate these sites. They steal art all the time. It's ridiculous. I don't know how they do it. I like to litter UFCW literature in my local Walmart to make management panic and waste their time and money. r/ChaoticGood. Dear Steve, I hope you're happy with her. Now the whole town will know what a filthy cheater you are. From Jenny. P.S. I bought this ad using your credit card. Steve, you messed up big time, dude. Absolute loser. Shout out to the U.S. embassies in Austria, Chile, India, and South Korea, who have directly ignored orders from the Trump administration in flying the pride flag. They found really clever workarounds as they were banned from flying the pride flag on the flagpole. They aren't ignoring orders. They are obeying the orders to the exact letter. Malicious compliance. Also in Mexico City, they couldn't fly the flag, but they didn't say anything about a picture of a flying flag. This is some god-tier chaotic lawful evil stuff. Don't let the world fool you. Consistent kindness is the most quietly powerful thing. If you ever want to engage in villainy and undermine the social order, be especially kind to the people society has rejected. Care about the ones the world would convince you don't deserve your kindness. I genuinely mean this when I say to you, the ultimate act of rebellion is insisting on compassion and grace in a compassionless world. Disruptive compassion. Reblogging, because I have a lot of feelings about this and because I believe very strongly that the most punk rock and badass thing you can do is to live your life with aggressive empathy and kindness. Haryana's Gurugram residents hold authorities at gunpoint and made them construct road overnight. 30 arrested. Accidents were allegedly witnessed on the patch of broken road. Absolutely. I mean, gunpoint, kind of crazy, but but someone's got to fix the damn roads. 15 years ago, 5 friends and I drunkenly painted a crosswalk on a dangerous street in our college town. Shockingly, people actually used it, and the city installed a legitimate crosswalk there soon after. Now it's a national publication. Hell yeah, dude. Doing good while you're drunk on the town. Time to walk the plank. Sure, where's his leash? Ha, good one. You're first mate now. Hey, congratulations on the promotion, buddy. When I was in 4th grade, I was in the gifted program, and they let us go to the library more often, which meant we had more chances to take the accelerated reader's test and get points, and whoever reached a certain threshold got to go to Chuck E. Cheese. So I'd go around asking people I knew had a hard time reading what their logins were and sneak in to take tests for them so they could go to Chuck E. Cheese too. I got caught and they didn't let me go to Chuck E. Cheese, but it was worth it. Frick you. That's why we all need to lie and cheat. We love your heroics. We're gonna deal with whoever caught you. Chuck E. Cheese official? Chuck E. Cheese has an official Tumblr? That's crazy. I suppose if people thought about real issues and needs instead of manufactured desires, the economy would collapse and we'd have total anarchy. Calvin's mom is so right, and also, she's bad as hell. At least once a month, I randomly remember the Dr. Phil once invited the creator of the Bum Fights video series on his show to confront him about exploiting vulnerable people for financial gain, only for him to show up dressed as Dr. Phil and point out he does the exact same thing. It's true. It's true. Dr. Phil does do the exact same thing. Dr. Phil is a terrible, bad person. Joseph Menschik, the last knight, he lived in Czechoslovakia until 1945 like a real knight in a castle without electricity or cars. He even attacked German tanks on its horse in full armor during World War II. Dude, what a badass. I couldn't even imagine going, head on to a tank while riding a horse. That's like crazy stuff. Today I learned the first woman to ever interview a US president did so by stealing his clothes as he swam naked and refused to give them back until he agreed to the interview. What a badass lady. Getting the job done one way or another. Man, you don't need a mohawk and spikes to be a punk. Being a punk is about breaking the rules. Feeding ducks? Punk is the system. Hell yeah, little dude. I had to do it to save everyone. Man breaks into school and shelters nearly a dozen people from blizzard. See note man left behind after breaking into school during storm. What a good guy. I hope everyone was safe and everyone, there was a happy ending. I was sick of seeing so many people swimming in the river at Yellowstone with clear no swimming signs. So I shouted from the bridge that there was flesh-eating bacteria in the water and everyone ran out. Guys, if there's no swimming in a public place like a national park, don't swim, idiots. Ransomware group forces victims to pick any 5 poor children and buy them KFC. It's like if Robin Hood had a chain email from your aunt fell into the machine from The Fly. Restoring art is my passion. What is this? That's a Jesus statue and you're restoring it to be someone who I don't recognize the face of. Homeless man arrested for stealing excavator to help man change his tire in downtown. An excavator? On a car? I mean, I'm glad you helped the dude, but I feel like that's gonna do damage to the car. In 2018, a Russian hacker broke into 100,000 people's routers, but with good intentions. He didn't do any fraud, but only changed their settings so they don't get hacked in the future by others. Professionals have standards. The way my girlfriend cut around the pepperoni. You know what? This is actually pretty based. I think this is good and nothing wrong here. Is the pizza cut funky? Yes. Does this make me want to go cut a pizza like this? Yes. Become ungovernable. Zoo separates 5 parrots after the birds were caught encouraging each other to swear at guests. I would do this with the birds. I'd be like, hey bird, say fuck, say fuck, say it, say fuck. Company develops bread with white crust in order to decrease food waste. That sounds, I mean, the idea behind it, great. I love reducing food waste. That looks so weird. Turkish photographer beats up client after learning bride is 15 years old. What a hero. What a genuine good guy. Stopping that kind of weird crap. One weird dude getting beat up at a time. Okay, funny long story of mine. So this dyslexic kid in my class uses a computer. One of the teachers actually banned him to use it. So him and his friends literally printed over 800 Google searches, and the dyslexic kid would ask for a search, and his friends searched for like 2 minutes and gave him a paper about it. This is the funniest stuff I've seen all year. Why did the dyslexic kid get banned from using the computer? Why are teachers weird? Oh, an r/s Reddit post. This is the wrong channel. What was your frick it done helping others moment? One day I found a puppy dirty, hungry, and just scared and lost. I gave him a good meal and some love and went to drop him off at the address on his collar. The dude thanked me, then proceeded to beat the crap out of the dog, telling me to mind my own business when I tried to get him to stop. Carried him by his collar to a 5-foot short chain in a muddy patch with a crappy broken 3-wall doghouse, where I'm guessing the dog spent 100% of its time. I called the cops, but they did nothing. The dog technically had shelter, which qualifies because 3 walls and a roof, even if it was filled with holes and gets 20 degrees at night there. Yes, I stole the dog 3 weeks later. Hey, stealing is wrong. Nah, just kidding. Good dog napper. I'd steal that dog too. It's messed up. Came out of my dad's printer at work today. Hi, if you're reading this message, it's highly likely that your printer is exposed to the public internet via port forwarding. That means that anyone on the internet with some technical knowledge can send print print jobs to your printer, or worse. Try to exploit it and use it as a part of a global botnet. If you didn't intend for this, please look into disabling UPnP, Universal Plug and Play, on your router, or remove the port forwarding rule for the port 9100, a friendly catgirl hacker, :3. Thank you, friendly catgirl hacker. What would we do without you? Handing over their husbands on a silver platter. I'm very glad the wives of Russian war criminals continue helping us make sure their husbands will face the tribunal. Ukrainian hackers contacted a wife of a Russian war criminal posing as an officer from her husband's unit, asking for a photo shoot of all the wives from the unit as a surprise for the husbands. Now we have identities of 12 soldiers responsible for the Mariupol bombings. A video going viral on the internet of a thief being interrogated at a police station in ChaoticGood. In the hilarious clip, the thief confessed that he stole Rs S 10,000, and when Durg Superintendent of Police Dr. Ibizek Palava asked him what he did with the money, he claimed that he has spent all the money feeding strays and cattle. The thief also shared that he had distributed blankets among the poor. You know what? Good guy. Good dude. It's okay if he stole. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy made an incredibly offensive campaign ad in which he suggests those critical of the police call a crackhead next time they get into trouble. So I registered callacrackhead.com and redirected it to his Washington office phone. Yeah, Senator John Kennedy, get fucked, asshole. I made my classmates elect somebody that wasn't even a candidate as our class representative. So basically, we were electing our class reps. I'm in 11th grade, and we only had one candidate. However, it was the class clown, and only a few of us wanted him to be elected. So we decided to choose another classmate who wanted to be a representative but was too shy to be a candidate, and we told our friends to vote for him. We thought he would get about 25% of the votes, but he got more than 80%. Apparently, almost everyone in the class except him knew about what we were trying to do. The look on the class clown's face when he realized that he was going to lose the election was priceless. Sorry if my English is bad, by the way. Excellent. Oh my god, I hate those class clown BS weird people back in high school who, just because they were funny, they would win everything, and then they would never actually get anything done or do anything with the actual, what they were responsible for doing. Excellent. Always carry zip ties so you can frick with people who park like a-holes. I wish I had the balls to do this. French environmentalists targeted sites near Toulouse, calling golf the leisure industry of the most privileged. Climate activists fill golf holes with cement after water ban exemption. The golf place got exempted from a water ban? That's ridiculous. Ugh. I hate golf. Most of those hostile design benches to keep homeless people from sleeping in public, they're just regular benches with the bar in the middle attached with a few hex nuts and bolts, not welded. In other words, you can get them off with practically any wrench that fits. I've been liberating my parks in my city all day now. It takes maybe a few minutes for each bench. The only problem is finding a place to dispose of the junk bar when you're done without loading trash cans past capacity. Anyway, it's easy, it's helpful, and it's praxis. Teachers, the Supreme Court just ruled that you can lead your students in prayer. I hope you are all prepared to uphold and honor that decision. Bring out your prayer rug, your pentagrams, your herbs and tarot cards, your Quran, your Tanakh, your Talmud, your ram's horn, your Star of David, your Baphomet, your Satanic Bible, your altars, your Tibetan prayer wheel, your Book of Shadows. Yeah, not just Christian prayer, buddy. We're going all the way. Cards Against Humanity is donating 100% of their profits to the National Network of Abortion Funds if the order comes from a state restricting abortion access. If someone selects "I didn't agree to this," an additional $5 donation is added to their cart. That's so crazy! Cards Against Humanity, bunch of good people. You'll love to see it. Anyone else hate cops? I live in a relatively safe country, and most of them don't have to do stuff. So I go out of my way to mess with them. Get in my car in the middle of the night looking like pick related, making sure not to blink for a few minutes so my eyes are watery and red. Play loud, obnoxious rap music in the car, and when they pull me over, I make sure to rip a nice steaming fart so when they bend over my car window, they get hit in the face with my ass juice. Act sleepy and lethargic when they ask me stuff. They test me for alcohol and drugs and basically raid my car every time. Always clean. Waste an hour asking me if I have anything and getting pissed off at me. After that, they let me go. Repeat at least once a week. I'm pretty sure the entire police department knows me by now because they stopped pulling me over. Next week, I'm going to another town to troll some more lazy cops. Doing the Lord's work. You'll love to see it. Model and actress Anita Ekberg, after being followed and hounded by photographers, beat up one of them. When they threatened to call the cops, she retrieved a bow and arrow from her Via and shot another photographer. 1960. What a badass woman. The paparazzi is just so gross and weird. Man helps me to not pay for a toilet. So I was going on a trip with my circus group and we wanted to go by train. I wanted to pee before we left because the toilets in the train are gross. I walk to the toilet and see that you need to pay 50 euro cents to go to the toilet. I live in Europe. So I get frustrated and start walking back to the group when I get stopped by a man who worked in the city hall, which is in the same building as the train station. He says that if you go into the city hall and immediately left, you can pee without paying. After I get back from the toilet, I saw him do this a few more times. This man who works for the city is helping people while making sure the city gets less money, and as far as I know, he's still doing that because I was just there yesterday and saw him do it again. People think I wear thongs for some kind of weird fetish, but in fact I do it because they use less fabrics, therefore less CO2 emission at manufacturers. Good for you, man. Not my cup of tea, but good job. Someone left Taco Bell sauce packets outside of the doors of my apartment building. Why? Why is this good? This is just confusing. This is just chaotic. Why are rabbits so special? Soft. Teacher did one of the word cloud things with a virtual response thing for the question, what makes rabbits so special? I submitted the word soft 600 times. Oh, that's so good. My first thought that it would be funny to stand out there and cheer them on as Michael Myers, since the marathon was the weekend before Halloween. Run. He's got a knife. You guys should get running a little bit better. I use the parental controls on my grandparents' TV so they can't watch Fox News anymore. Oh, that's genius. Grandparents are too stupid to figure it out. You really are helping them, even in their old age when they're riddled with lead poisoning. The less Fox News people watch, the better. Update. Republicans started recruiting plaintiffs for a lawsuit to stop student debt relief. Our response, 130,000 false applications were sent in less than a day. Good work, everyone. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, 130,000 false applications. We love you. Someone was under your car last night trying to steal your catalytic converter, but I shot him with my BB gun twice. You're welcome. If I were you, I would get something like cat strap or some deterrent so it doesn't get stolen in the future. I won't always be there to snipe the bad guys. Your friendly neighbor. May this be the year in which you stop writing for fame or money and start writing for revenge. That's right. Revenge is the best dish. And I hope a lot of you writers get out there and get it. Yeah, quiet quitting is great and all, but have you tried chaotic working? Like, I remember back in my grocery store cashier days, I did so much crazy stuff. When WIC, Women, Infants, and Children's voucher program to help low-income mothers and families with children, people were in my line, I would pretty much know who they were. For the cards, they had to tell us up front they were WIC and show us their vouchers for what they were allowed to get. It was awful sometimes, like 2 gallons of milk, $4 worth of vegetables, etc. They'd always have items hanging back, waiting to see what the total was if they would have to take it off the belt. I began to place the fruits and vegetables a certain way on the register scale so that like half a pound of grapes read as like 0.28 pounds or something. Then act shocked when I said they still have X amount of pounds left. They got all their fruit and vegetables. I think it started to kind of catch on to the women because I would have the same moms in my line month after month. And even after they switched to the cards, they worked like food stamp cards, I'd still do the same thing. They were able to get more produce for whatever bad max amount Indiana gave them. Anyways, be chaotic. It's more fun that way. Deli men become robbers, steal dozens of cars to pay for their friend's expensive cancer treatment. Entire gang busted. 50 plus luxury cars, components found, leader in ICU with chemo. This is actually dictionary definition of chaotic good. Stealing luxury cars from what I can only assume is rich people who can afford 1 million of them to help your friend with cancer. Bruh. Everyone must have a fruit or vegetable? No cap. It's none of our business if you eat it or not, but it must be on your trays. Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right, jits. Thanks, cuh. Your bussin' lunch crew. No shot. This is awful. I mean, great that you're making them eat the fruit and vegetables, but like jits, cuh, bussin', bruh. It's just it's interesting. Found this walking home after a long day. Stay freaking positive. Thank you. I will stay positive. Sally Hafez pretended to be a bank robber in Lebanon to retrieve her own money and to pay for her sister's surgery. Thank you, Sally, for paying for your sister's surgery. You're doing a great job. Today I learned about Tommy Manville, the heir to the Johns Manville fortune. The term of his family trust granted him $250,000 when he married. As a result, he got married 13 times, giving the women a cut of the proceeds quickly before divorcing them. When he married. Not the first time. Every time. That's crazy. I never even would think about that. Tommy Manville is a hero. Legend. Charles Pretty Boy Floyd, a Great Depression era gangster and notorious bank robber, endeared himself to the public by destroying mortgage papers at the banks he robbed, freeing many from their debts. We need some people to do this now. If you're gonna rob some banks, destroy all the mortgage paperwork, please and thank you. Oh wait, it's digital. Never mind. They ruined.